Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Mahtomedi High School for the season opener of Mahtomedi girls basketball as they take on the St. Anthony Village Huskies tonight. Hi, everybody. On behalf of everyone with SCC Sport, I'm Patrick Lilia with you. Mahtomedi looking to build on last year's section semifinal run as they'll have to replace their top three leading scorers from last year, but plenty of talent abounds for the Zephyrs. Coming into tonight, Grace Prose, the leading returning scorer, with 12.1 points from a year ago as the Zephyrs starters being introduced. We'll give the starting lineup for both teams over the course of the next couple of minutes, as the Huskies last year dropping their section opener as Becca Nelson, their leading returning scorer for this year. Key departures for the Zephyrs from this past offseason: Anna Green, Sarah Popard, and Ella Frazier, all moving on in various capacities. We got the starting lineups for you for tonight. For the visiting Huskies, it'll be Ella McCormick at point guard, Maria Allen, the other point guard, Becca Nelson and Katie Lisinski, the shooting guards, and Greta Schumann at power forwards. You see the key departures for the Huskies from last year: Stella Timmons and Leilani Abraham. Timmons taking her 14.3 points per game with her as the leading scorer from last year for St. Anthony Village. Starters for Mahtomedi tonight: Mira Nelson, Delaney Dumermuth, Lucy Peer, just an 8th grader, getting the nod for the Zephyrs. Grace Prose and Berkeley Blaisdell. The starting lineup for the Zephyrs, who will go right to left on your screen here in the first half in the home navy with white. The Huskies are in the white with blue numbers. And the season is underway with St. Anthony Village controlling the opening tip. They look to set up in the Mahtomedi side of the court with Katie Lisinski having the ball knocked away from her as couldn't be held onto by Nelson, and it's finally stolen away by Prose as Prose will carry into the front court. Mahtomedi tied up under their basket as they'll kick it back out across the three-point line. Shot goes off the back of the rim, no good. As a rebound goes to the Huskies as they've come back into the Mahtomedi front court. Thinking about the three and pulling it down is Allen, as Allen double-teamed. Loses it back near the timeline, is able to keep it alive. Corner three for Lisinski off the back rim. That's no good. And the rebound carried up court by the Zephyrs and Dumermuth. As Dumermuth, and as it's stolen away, quickly ahead is Nelson, and she's able to finish with the first points of the season for St. Anthony Village. Now Becca Nelson, first bucket of the year for the leading returning scorer for St. Anthony Village. Peer with it, sets up the play. She'll leave it off for Prose. Prose for three, no good. As the rebound is still loose in the key. Zephyrs finally able to corral it, and then it's stripped away, but a foul is going to be called. Foul will go against Ellie McCormick. First team foul. Zephyrs will inbound from the near side. Early first half. Thanks for joining us tonight on SCC Sports. Zephyrs winning last year's meeting by 29. Prose works it around, leaves it for Peer. Beg your pardon, Blaisdell, as Blaisdell gives it off. Now it's Peer with it. Shot clock at 4, drive through the lane, no good, and the rebound pulled down by Lisinski for St. Anthony Village. Nelson wants to push the tempo, kicks it back out beyond the arc. As now driving inside is Greta Schumann, got it and the foul. So Greta Schumann gets the bucket and will go to the line for one more. Schumann just pulling it down from the three-point line, driving inside. Foul goes against Mira Nelson. Free throw rattles in and out, but Nelson pulls down the offensive rebound. That's Nelson for St. Anthony Village. As they try to get it back inside for Becca Nelson, is able to save it, but it's stolen by the Zephyrs. The end of the front court is Prose. Prose kicks it into the corner. Blaisdell, Prose, fadeaway, good. Nice looking fadeaway jumper for Grace Prose. And the Zephyrs are on the board. Quickly back the other way and getting fouled on her way through the lane is Allen, and she'll go to the line to shoot a pair. Now the foul is on Prose, that's her first. First free throw is good. Hear that great audio put together by the team in our truck of that sweet sound of the ball flushing down the hoop. Allen, the senior, off the front rim. That's no good, and the rebound for the Zephyrs as Prose gets trapped up in the backcourt, able to outlet it for Peer. Peer has it stolen, trying to get it for Prose, now trying to steal it back, which he does. Blaisdell takes a free throw line length shot, no good. And the rebound is pulled down for St. Anthony Village by Schumann. Schumann quickly ahead with Sinski, gets it inside for Nelson, who is fouled, doesn't get the shot to go. It'll be Mira Nelson's second foul as Becca Nelson will head to the line to shoot two.
Take a break. Two free throws.
First one is good. An early 4-point lead for the visiting St. Anthony Village Huskies. Second shot off the back rim, doesn't go. One of two at the line for Nelson, but then it's stolen by Lisinski, who gets the layup. Casey Lisinski able to steal off the missed second free throw, and an early 6-point advantage. Three-pointer from the corner, that's no good for the Zephyrs, and the rebound pulled down by St. Anthony Village and Lisinski, who was fouled. Beg your pardon, just lost it out of bounds, but it was off Mahtomedi, so it's still St. Anthony Village basketball as the end of the front court, it's lost as the Zephyrs will take control of it as they try to get it ahead for Prose, but it's too far. It's out of bounds back to the Huskies. A little bit of a sluggish early start for Mahtomedi. A couple of fouls, a couple of turnovers. Traveling violation called on St. Anthony Village. Zeva Shopik now in the game for Mahtomedi. Shopik will work it over onto the far side of the arc. Shopik quickly sends it around. Sets up Prose for a straight-on three. That's off the side of the rim, no good. Offensive rebound for the Zephyrs, but then it's stolen by Maya Allen. Allen back into the Zephyr end as it's poked away, but these Huskies able to keep possession. Lisinski trying to get it inside. It's stolen right out of her hands. Blaisdell lost it out of bounds, and it'll go over to St. Anthony Village. Little over 4 minutes now gone by in this opening half. A 6-point lead for St. Anthony Village. Huskies into the front court. A bit of a jump ball for Allen as it's loose on the court and not able to be recovered in bounds. It was a good play by Pros to win that 50-50 battle, but the ball ends up rolling out of bounds, and we get a timeout called here with 13:34 in the first half. A full timeout for the Zephyrs. Trying to get through the sluggish early beginning. Take a look at last year's Metro East standings. The Zephyrs, a 20-win season a year ago, finished second in the conference behind Hill Murray. As we talked about, that's where Sarah Peppard transferred to during the offseason. The Zephyrs break the timeout. Jenny Patrick, the head coach of St. Anthony Village, who had themselves a nice little season last year as well with a winning record. Feed underneath for Becca Nelson is having to back things out. Was McCormick. They get it back for Nelson. The shot blocked, but stepping out of bounds, pulling down the rebound was Stella Stoifert of Mahtomedi, so we'll stay with St. Anthony Village. A little bit of frustrating start continuing for the Zephyrs. Just a few 50-50 plays like that just have not gone their way. Ball's not quite staying in bounds. Now a foot on the line, keeping it here with the Huskies. Long inbounds pass is going to be stolen away by Blaisdell. Blaisdell to the rack finishes. Now Berkeley Blaisdell stealing the inbound pass. Allen will set up for a quick three. That's off the back rim, no good, as Nelson, the offensive rebound, is fouled. I beg your pardon, McCormick fouled after the offensive rebound. They'll say it was in the act of shooting, so she'll go to the line. Looks more convincing on the replay than it did live to me. First free throw, no good. Delaney Dumermuth was called for the foul. That's the fourth team foul for the Zephyrs. Second free throw off the back rim, no good, as that's pulled down by Mira Nelson. Zephyrs trying to get some tempo going. They'll settle for the early three from Pros. That's no good, but the offensive rebound is Pros with it again. Pros will work it around onto the near side. They're able to get the open three. That time, that goes down. And the ball goes out of bounds the other way. Zephyrs work it into the front court. Nelson looking to get it underneath. Will kick it back out up high. Ball works its way into the corner. That's out of reach and out of bounds. We'll say it's Husky basketball. Zephyrs down, or beg your pardon, they keep it with the Zephyrs. Heard the PA say otherwise. Blaisdell kicks it into the corner for a three. That's no good. Another offensive rebound as Pros trying to drive the lane as it poked away out of bounds. And they will say Mahtomedi with the last to touch it. The three a moment ago, going to McKenna Foistel. Well, that pass for Becca Nelson out of bounds over to the Zephyrs. Let's pass the 6-minute mark of the first half. The Huskies leading by 1, but now kind of a long scoring drought for them. Now they haven't scored since they were up 8-2. Inbound for Blaisdell. Blaisdell ahead for Doomermuth. That's a Blaisdell for 3. Good. Beg your pardon. Pros on the 3, and the Zephyrs have their first lead. Trying to drive inside, and a foul on the floor as Schumann is fouled. Fifth team foul on the Zephyrs, and already the 5th foul on Mira Nelson, so that's going to be a little bit concerning. Not even halfway through this opening half. As Pro is trying to intercept it, but able to be recovered by Schumann using that height advantage a bit. Gets it inside for McCormick, who's fouled. And I think that'll be Feustel picking up her first. Already 16 fouls for the Zephyrs with 11:32 to go in the first half, as first free throw no good for McCormick. Second free throw for McCormick, that's no good. So missed free throw is starting to pile up a bit here early for the Huskies. Haven't been able to take advantage of some of these early Zephyr fouls. That'll be kicked out of bounds. It'll stay with Mahtomedi. Huskies only have 1 team foul so far. It's Berkeley for Pros. Gets things back up at the top of the key for Peer. Peer will take the 3. That's off the back rim. Still loose on the floor. Another offensive rebound for the Huskies. It's tied up. Jump ball favors the Zephyrs. Oh, an 8-0 run for the Zephyrs after they were down 8-2. Inbound Blaisdell. Blaisdell trying to drive the lane, lost it, tied up again, loose on the floor, and the jump ball will now go to the St. Anthony Village Huskies. (10-8) Mahtomedi with the lead. Their first lead of the night, as the Huskies have led by as many as 6. Setting up for the 3, Lisinski off the back rim, no good. The rebound is pulled down by Doomermuth. She gets it ahead for Pros. Quick trigger 3, the other way, good. Grace Pros hits the 3 in transition. As the Huskies quickly back the other way, traveling called on Schumerman. Huskies with their largest deficit now at 5. Next foul will put the Huskies in the bonus. Losing the ball, trying to drive inside as it'll be taken the other way by the Huskies, as no good on the layup attempt was Haley Serum, and we'll get a whistle. Siroin, I beg your pardon. I'll say she lost it out of bounds, but it'll still be Husky basketball. As Allen looking to inbound, is able to get it onto the far side for Lisinski. As Becca Nelson sets up for that arcing 3 as it swishes down. 6 early points for Nelson. Pros will set up for 3, fouled as the shot went off the front rim. So she'll go to the line for 3. Foul on Lisinski, that's her first. Just the second team foul for St. Anthony Village. Rose gets the first. Rose hits the second. Now she's has 10 already. Third free throw is good as Rose hits all 3. Zephyrs up by 5. Schumann, Lisinski with the corner 3. That'll go off the back rim. It will be recovered by Becca Nelson. Layup too strong. And a timeout called by the Zephyrs before that ball was poked away from Shepik. And with 9:39 to go in the first half, we'll have a quick break in the action with Mahtomedi up by 5. Now a 14-3 run for the Zephyrs after the Huskies jumped out to an early 6-point advantage. Grace Prose with 10. McKenna Foy still has a 3. Berkeley Blaisdell had an early bucket as well for Mahtomedi. St. Anthony Village finishing in the middle of the Tri-Metro last year. We talked about 16 overall wins. Oh, not a bad season for the Huskies. Zephyrs will inbound from their own backcourt as Blaisdell will carry it ahead from Shepik. Blaisdell for Prose. Blaisdell now on the other side is met by a couple of Huskies as Nelson trying to steal. It's tied up again. It's a jump ball which will favor Mahtomedi. Oh, Becca Nelson and Ava Shepik tied up there. Prose will inbound from next to the scorer's table. She gets it in, now takes it back from Shepik. Prose had a tip but recovered by Shepik on the pass. Blaisdell trying to spin inside, kick it out as the shot clock runs out, and it's a shot clock violation. Really good defensive sequence for St. Anthony Village as the Zephyrs not able to get a shot off. They're trying to work it into the key. Some of these taller bodies for St. Anthony Village have made things difficult inside for Mahtomedi at times tonight, about midway through this opening half. Allen trying to lob it inside for Nelson. Nelson, jumper from just inside of the line for Siroin is no good. There's a foul. A loose ball foul called against the Huskies. So that'll go on number 22, Schumann. That's her first, third overall team foul. Inbound for Blaisdell. Zephyrs again will try to work things inside from the perimeter. That pass tipped and eventually stolen by Schumann. Siroin trying to get it inside. It was tipped but recovered by Nelson. inside as things getting tied up. Second chance, though. It's a nice recovery for Schumann. She had it knocked out of her hands, able to get it back and finish with the layup. Well, the partial block doesn't deter the Huskies on that possession. Zephyrs by 3, now with 8 minutes to go in the half. Blaisdell, Pros. Trying to drive inside Pure. There were 3 Huskies as it's tipped out of bounds. It'll stay with the Zephyrs. Zephyrs have been good from long range so far. They have 3 3-pointers. As working inside continues to be a little bit of a challenge for Mahtomedi in the early going as the inbounds pass was tipped, but able to be recovered. Shot clock under 10. Reverse layup, no good, but a foul. As that will send Dumermuth to the line for a pair. And the second foul on Lisinski for St. Anthony Village. The junior will take a pair. This one doesn't get the friendly bounce off the back rim. Fourth team foul on the Huskies. Dumermuth's second one also no good as Becca Nelson pulls it down and we'll get a foul called. And that'll put the Huskies into the bonus. The foul goes on Lucy Peer, that's her first, and the 7th team foul. So the 1-and-1, no good for Nelson, but she's able to get the offensive rebound. Allen tried to send it down low. It was tipped out of bounds. It'll stay with the Huskies. Allen inbounds to McCormick. Nice job to steal it away by Pro. She gets it ahead for Blaisdell, I beg your pardon. Sets up Peer to drive the lane. The layup no good as it goes off the side iron. Second chance and the foul. The and one for Mahtomedi. As Dumermuth gets the offensive rebound and the basket. She'll go to the line for a 3-point play. Second foul on McCormick.
Now we got one.
Free throw gets the friendly roll this time. Allen carries into the front court. They go back to Allen on the side of the key. 3-pointer, McCormick, good. Ellie McCormick hits the 3. It's the 3 the other way for Pros, doesn't go, and Allen the rebound. McCormick thought about another 3, drives inside, kicks it out. 3 for Schumann, can't get that to go, and Blaisdell has the rebound. Blaisdell driving the lane, goes off the side of the board on the shot. Long pass ahead and not able to get the layup to go is Shackerly for the Huskies. Zephyrs able to push the tempo but can't get the layup at the other end. Allen the rebound. Allen trying to get it inside for Becca Nelson. That's out of bounds off of Mahtomedi. Zephyrs up 3, 6:15 to go in the first half. Nice steal on the pass by Pierre. Pierre, the 8th grader. Pierre sends a cross-court pass. And traveling. Well, Zephyrs continuing to struggle with turnovers a little bit here in this opening half. Nelson double teamed, is able to work away from it, but her pass is stolen by Shopik. Shopik got the pass underneath the basket and the lob pass trying to get it back out for Pierre is over her head out of bounds. Inbound for Allen. Allen a give and go with McCormick, but it went back over the timeline, and that'll be a turnover for the Huskies. Timeout taken here by St. Anthony Village. 3-point lead for Mahtomedi. I think both teams would tell you this first half, it's opening night, but I think both teams would tell you they could be not quite executing the way that they were hoping in the early going. A lot of missed free throws, some turnovers as well for both teams. But of course, the first time these players have seen live action against another opponent, these aren't just scrimmages or inter-squad matches. So always a little bit tougher when you see a live opponent for the first time. There's usually some things to work out. Got new players, of course. No team is going to be the same from year to year. No different faces out there. Different strengths. Shopik will inbound off the near sideline. She gets it in for Prose in the backcourt. Prose, Shopik pulls it down. Nearly has it stolen away, does have it stolen away, as Allen will come ahead into the front court. Layup good. Maya Allen with the layup, now has 3 points. Shopik in the lane as her layup blocked. As Schumann had the block and then the rebound. McCormick pulls it down, gets it underneath for Searoyn, who has the bucket, and the Huskies are back in front. Prose carries that into the front court for the Zephyrs. It's Pierre up top. Prose, still plenty of time to shoot. Prose has that one blocked by Schumann, and the rebound for Allen, who has it poked away from behind, but able to be recovered by McCormick. 3 from Schumann, that's no good. Nelson the offensive rebound off the glass and good. Prose carries the basketball ahead. We approach 4 minutes to go in the first half. It's Pierre, 3 from the near side, that's no good. The rebound pulled down by Searoyn. Schumann. Now Searoyn trying to drive the lane is fouled. And she'll go to the line. Foul on Pier, her second. First free throw is good for Searoyn. Searoyn hits them both. And it's a 5-point lead for the Huskies. Blaisdell. It's poked away out of bounds from Pier. It'll stay with the Zephyrs. Pros off the inbound. Gets it for Blaisdell. Blaisdell will take the three. Got it to go. So Blaisdell swishes down the three. As the Huskies again push the tempo. Wasinski for Allen. Allen had a pass tipped, but able to be recovered. Now Wasinski up high. Pass inside Becca Nelson. Nice transition layup as she goes from pulling down the pass to the shot in one motion. Now two more for Nelson. Huskies come away with the steal. Wasinski for Schumann. Nice steal from behind by Pros. Pros races the other way with it, kicks it into the corner. Blaisdell on the drive, and the shot blocked by Schumann. Lob pass back as now Nelson with it. Schumann up high, setting up the play. Now sets up Allen for three from the near corner, off the rim, no good. Rebound for Dumermuth. 2 minutes to go in the first half. Huskies up 4. Pier is trying to drive inside, tried to get a pass that went off of a leg, but able to be recovered by Blaisdell. 10 seconds to shoot. Blaisdell around for Pros. 5 to shoot. Pros got to get it up. Dumermuth, it's no good. Went off the side of the rim, but it's rebounded by the Huskies as Schumann on the drive had it blocked by Dumermuth. Blaisdell sets up a three for Pros off the front rim, no good. Offensive rebound and the bucket. As Feustel had the rebound and the basket. Three from the near corner, Wasinski for the Huskies, no good. As Schumann able to keep it in bounds. Driving through the lane and getting the finish is Searoyn. Searoyn with 6 points off the bench for the Huskies. They lead by 4 now with 40 seconds to go in the half. Blaisdell. Feustel gets it for Pros. Under 30 seconds to go in the half. Shot clock at 10. The pass tipped by Allen. There was a whistle before. Foul was on Wasinski. That's her third. .19 seconds to go on the half. Shot clock turned off. As driving inside, no good on the layup. As we'll see if the Huskies want to hold for the last shot of the travel wing. They were trying to get it for Saroin. Well, now the Zephyrs can have a chance for the last shot. .3 left in the first half. Pros driving the lane, puts it up over two Huskies, can't get it to go as a jump ball called, and that will favor the Huskies with 2.6. As they'll get the inbound off, and the final shot nowhere close, but the Huskies will take a 4-point lead into halftime. Grace Prose, a good first half with 11 points. Played that entire first half. Becca Nelson for the Huskies with 10. As we will wrap up the opening half, the St. Anthony Village Huskies on the road, a 4-point lead over the Zephyrs. We'll go to halftime. We'll come back with some highlights and stats from that opening half of action here on SEC Sports right after this.
There I was, 16, divorced, remarried with a baby, another on the way, and I could barely read or write. It was time for me to change my life and the lives of my family, so I went back and I got my high school diploma. That was the catalyst I needed. Now I have a bachelor's, a master's, and I became a teacher.
Mom, this is your very first yearbook.
Your commitment to education motivates me, your coworkers, and your students.
You showed me that if you come from nothing, you can still be anything.
You told me I deserve to succeed. It's been 15 years, and I still live by that.
You're the model for success for your kids, grandkids, and your students.
When I look at all these success stories, I cannot help but think it all started by getting my high school diploma.
When you graduate, they graduate. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you.
Love is a lesson that doesn't end. It knows no conditions, so you better buckle in. Love keeps you on your toes. It never stops, only grows. Love isn't easy. It's a commitment, especially when they're being their most resistant. Love is being prepared for the journey ahead. Love doesn't let any concerns go unsaid. Love is finding the right seat so you can take a breath. But remember, love isn't lax. It always double checks. Check that your kids are in the right seat at nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Love protects.
Achieving my goals as an adult was challenging without a high school diploma. With the help of an adult education center, I finished my high school diploma and it changed my life.
This yearbook is a testament to your accomplishments and how they have impacted all of us.
Getting my high school diploma made me feel like I can do anything. Now I can help the kids in my community achieve their dreams.
When you graduate, they graduate. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you.
Love is a lesson that doesn't end. It knows no conditions, so you better buckle in. Love keeps you on your toes. It never stops, only grows. Love isn't easy, it's a commitment, especially when they're being their most resistant. Love is finding the right seat so you can take a breath. But remember, love isn't lax. It always double checks. Check that your kids are in the right seat at nhtsa.gov/the-right seat.
Sit up, team. When I look around this room, I see a fighting team of brave antibodies. But the flu is coming in strong. The good news is, Anthony, the human we're tasked to protect, just got his flu shot, which supplied us with strong new gear to defend against the flu. So let's go fight for Anthony. Are you with me?
Let's work as a team to defend against the flu. Gear up with a flu shot to help protect others and reduce your risk of being sick or hospitalized with the flu. Learn more at getmyflushot.org.
Welcome back to Mahtomedi High School. The St. Anthony Village Huskies with a 4-point lead over the Zephyrs here at halftime, as they like to say often that basketball is a game of runs, and that first half definitely was that, as each team establishing some good-sized leads, but then the other team pushing back pretty quickly, as the Huskies had an early 6-point lead, and the Zephyrs led by as many as 5, but down the stretch, the Huskies had a 5-point lead as well. That they have that 4-point advantage here at the half. Zephyrs have been good from range, as they've had some trouble getting inside in some of these taller players on the Huskies. Becca Nelson, for the Huskies hitting the 3 there. Their leading returning scorer had 10, as did, beg your pardon, Grace Rose for the for Mahtomedi had 11. So the two players to watch having good opening halves. Blaisville the 3 there. Zephyrs got in some early foul trouble that sort of relieved itself by the end of the first half, but Mira Nelson, one of the starters, had 3, so she sat quite a bit of that opening half after those 3 early fouls. Zephyrs 5 of 10, 50% on threes. Free throws were a little bit of a struggle for the Huskies in that opening half. They couldn't take advantage of some of that early foul trouble for Mahtomedi on the scoreboard with the missed free throws. We'll see how the second half plays out. At a tight back and forth first half. And so we will head to the break and come back on the other side with your second half. St. Anthony Village trying to expand on their 4-point lead. The Zephyrs here on opening night will look for a better second half to come away with the win at home. We'll be back with your second half on the other side here on SEC Sports.
Mom, did you really need to buy 2 can openers for our emergency kit? I can't help it. They're 2 for 1.
What's this? We need to keep our family communication plan safe in case of an emergency.
Thanks, Tita.
Oh, man.
Well, good thing we kept all the lights we used for the rally.
I've got the battery pack.
Keep my phone powered so we don't miss any alerts.
What about game night?
Sounds good.
Oh, we have to get to Mom and Dad's and get them somewhere safe. I've got the evacuation route loaded on my phone.
I've got an updated list of Dad's meds.
And I've got just what we need to get them to take this seriously.
If that doesn't convince them that we thought this through, I don't know what would.
Start a conversation with your family and plan together for emergencies.
I'm a different kind of threat. I can't be scared away or negotiated with. You can't call the cops on me.
Do you still want to hang out after?
I don't want your money or your TV. I don't even have to break in. I'm invited.
Self-love made me a better dad because I realized my worth. Wrap away, you gotta pray for yourself as well as for everybody else, but never forget yourself. The word father means a lot to me. When I give my love to my children as a father, I can see it. That's the benefit of being a father is seeing those smiling faces.
I feel sometimes that I'm not listened to. I feel that I'm not getting the attention that I need, and it's a lot built up in my chest. I would just want you to listen to me more often and evaluate situations with me and lead me towards success.
Listening is a form of love. Find ways to support your kids at soundidouttogether.org.
There are a lot of temptations facing young people today, like electronic cigarettes and skateboarding. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes. This can lead to...
Welcome back to Mahtomedi as the Huskies lead by 4 heading into the second half, 28-24. Zephyrs will look to bounce back here in the second half. Struggled with turnovers in particular in that first half. That's probably the biggest reason that the Zephyrs find themselves down here heading into the second half. The inbound for Blaisdell. Starters back out there for Mahtomedi to start this second half. Peer at the top of the circle trying to drive inside. Layup good. Lucy Peer on the drive. And the finish. Her first 2 varsity points, and then it's stolen by Blaisdell. Can't finish. Rebound Pro is good. So the Zephyrs come out with a vengeance here in the second half. Peer hits the layup, the steal, and on the offensive rebound, Pros puts it back to tie the game. Becca Nelson tied up, kicks it out for Schumann. McCormick bounce pass underneath. Back for Becca Nelson. Hit it and the foul. Becca Nelson now with 12. She'll go to the line for one more. Foul called on Peer. That's her third. But now the Zephyrs have 2 players with 3, less than a minute into the second half, as the free throw rolls around and goes down. So now 13 for Nelson, and it's back to a 3-point lead for St. Anthony Village. Lob pass stolen. It goes out of bounds. It'll stay with the Zephyrs, as couldn't quite haul it in was Schumann. It'll give and go for Pros. Pros forced to back down, defended by Allen. Berkeley, Blaisdell, as it goes out for 3, that's no good. There's another offensive rebound for the Zephyrs as Nelson took the 3 shot a moment ago. Works back into the corner, driving inside, and then being fouled is Doomer-Muth. She'll go to the line for 2. Foul is on Lisinski. That's her 4th. You got to imagine she's going to be coming out here. First free throw pops off the back iron, comes down good, as Lisinski will have to check out, as Saroyan, who had 6 points off the bench in that first half, will come back in. Second free throw for Dumermuth, no good, as Schumann on the rebound. Allen, McCormick. Schumann, quick shot, no good off the back rim. Putback is good for the Huskies. As Saroyan, who just checked in off the bench, underneath making her presence felt. Pros, not about driving inside, now works back out. Blaisdell out of the far corner. Threw a pass, there was nobody there. And it'll just be an over and back for the Zephyrs. Tough break for the Zephyrs. Blaisdell thought there was going to be somebody there to receive the pass, and it ended up in the backcourt. Zeva Shepik quickly checks back in for Nelson. As this is stolen, it's Dumermuth gets the finish. Dumermuth the steal and the finish. He has 5. 2-point game. McCormick on the baseline, no good. As the Zephyrs trapped on the baseline, it ends up out of bounds. And it goes over to St. Anthony Village. So Ryan will inbound. So McCormick gets the open look for 3, no good. Nelson pulls down the offensive rebound. Schumann, the short-range floater, no, but a foul. Foul goes on Shupik, that's her first. First free throw is good for Greta Schumann. Schumann now with 5 points. Back to a 4-point lead for St. Anthony Village as we approach the 3-minute mark of this second half. Pros gets it for Blaisdell for 3, that's no good. And quickly in transition, it's McCormick off the rebound. McCormick leaves it for Saroyan, who can't get it to go. Crowd wants a travel, they don't get it. As the Zephyrs just trying to play it off the Huskies and get it out of bounds, which they do, and it'll be Zephyr inbound underneath the basket. Inbound for Blaisdell. Blaisdell inside gets it off for Shepik as it's knocked down along the baseline and over to the Huskies. Oh, another Zephyr turnover. Allen inbounds to McCormick. Becca Nelson sends it into the corner. It's McCormick, bounce pass inside, there's contact and a foul. As Schumann and Shepik were there. And the foul is going to go on Shepik, that'll be her second. The Zephyrs already finding themselves in a little bit of foul trouble, already 3 here in the second half. Pass inside off the hands and stolen as Blaisdell in control of the basketball. Blaisdell Kicked out for Shepik. Back inside Shepik, layup high off the glass, no good. Still loose on the floor. McCormick had it stolen away, is driving inside as Seufert can't get it to go. Another rebound, kicked back out towards Seufert as she's tangled up with Nelson, and McCormick has the steal, and then it's stolen right back, and the bucket good from the free throw line for Prose. So a lot happening there, and it all ends up in another Grace Prose bucket as a layup back at the other end for Becca Nelson. A chaotic sequence a moment ago on the Prose basket. Well, Seufert leaves it off. That's stolen away by Nelson. Nelson, bounce pass ahead, is a foul called in the lane. So Maya Allen was the one on the shot attempt. She'll go to the line for 2. Second on Feustel. 4th team foul now for the Zephyrs here in the second half. Remember, they already have 2 players with 3. Domermuth will check back into the game. Second free throw is good. Amelia Isom also now in the game for Mahtomedi. 5-point lead for St. Anthony Village. Prose works it for Blaisdell. Blaisdell, they're at the free throw line, has to kick it back out. As Feustel with a short jumper can't get it to go, and the rebound for the Huskies. Saroin. Ball kicked free, and it's a steal for the Zephyrs. Long pass ahead for Blaisdell. She's able to corral it as she's trying to get it to Prose, streaking in just outside the lane. Prose backs up, takes the 3 off the front rim, no good. As Schumann, the rebound is fouled. Might have been a loose ball foul before Schumann got the rebound in her hands. Yeah, that'll be the second on Prose. Fifth team foul now for the Zephyrs. Inbound to Allen. As they set up Schumann. Schumann defended by Dumermuth as Becca Nelson trying to generate some space, has to send it back out. If that's stolen by Blaisdell. Blaisdell into the front court with it, slows it down in front of her bench, sets up Prose. Prose and Blaisdell. That works back for Dumermuth as it's poked free at the timeline, ends up out of bounds. And no signal about whose ball it is. It's going to stay with the Zephyrs. Blaisdell into the front court with the basketball. Dumermuth through the lane, puts it up in traffic, that's no good. As Schumann another rebound. Pass at the other end tipped around, able to be recovered by the Huskies as Allen trying to drive the lane. Shot goes off the side of the glass, but a foul. Blaisdell picks up her first, but now the 6th already for the Zephyrs, and again, looks like the Huskies could be in the bonus here early in the second half as Allen gets the first free throw friendly bounce to go. Second one rolls around and off. Out of bounds. It'll stay with the Huskies. Becca Nelson on the inbound. Works its way back over for McCormick, whose shot rattles down. Largest lead for St. Anthony Village at 8, 41-33. Pros traveled. She left the ground and came back down, so that's a violation and another turnover. Happened right in front of us down here. Allen, lob pass for Saroin. Saroin makes a nice move to get inside with losing control of the basketball, but a foul. Serena Becker will pick up the foul, and Saroin will go to the line for a 1-and-1. Saroin's first one good. Saroin gets the second one as well. 9 points off the bench for Haley Saroin. And it's a 10-point lead for the Huskies. It's Peer. Driving through the lane, Blaisdell, she's fouled. Maybe Allen's going to pick up the foul. Beg your pardon, it's going to go on Becca Nelson. That's her first foul. Just the second team foul for the Huskies. First free throw good for Blaisdell. Blaisdell now with 6. And the second one as well. Beg your pardon, Pros at the line. And now has 19 in the game. Zephyrs will take a timeout here, down by 8. No, turnovers have been a struggle for the Zephyrs tonight. Yeah, it's probably the main reason that they find themselves down by 8. Although the Huskies have gotten a little bit of a better bench contribution as well. Let's take a look at Mahtomedi's upcoming schedule. They've got 4 of their next 5 away from Mahtomedi High School. I mean, most of the first half of the season going to be spent on the road. That's going to mean a lot of home games in crunch time in January and February for the Zephyrs. Huskies inbound. They get it ahead for Nelson. Schumann kicks it toward the far side. As it's lost to Blaisdell, she carries ahead into the front court. Pros takes the straight on 3, good. Grace Pros hits a 3 that the Zephyrs really needed to have. It's a 5-point game. As that's stolen and a foul going to be called, I believe, on the Huskies. So Maya Allen called for the foul. That's her first. And with 10 minutes to go in the game, chance for the Zephyrs to cut the deficit a little further. And down to by as many as 10 here in the second half. Inbound to Pros. To Blaisdell. Pros on the far side. As Nelson knocked it down, was able to get it out of bounds off of a Zephyr player, Pierre, and it'll go over to the Huskies. Long, high pass, able to be pulled down by Lisinski out there with 4 fouls. Some contact at the timeline, but the Huskies able to move it into the front court. As taking the 3, no good off the front rim is Schumann, as the Zephyrs will push the tempo. That'll go out of bounds and go over to St. Anthony Village. Trying to get it for Isom on the near side. As Saroyan will inbound. That's nearly stolen, but able to be pulled down by McCormick. Back to Saroyan, driving the lane. Saroyan fouled underneath. As Pros will pick up her 3rd foul. 8th team foul on Mahtomedi. And Pros certainly not somebody the Zephyrs can afford to have get too deeply into foul trouble with 9:20 left to go. So Royan's first free throw, no good. So 3 Mahtomedi starters now with 3 fouls apiece. Second free throw for Saroyan, no good. Blaisdell carries into the front court. Gets it back for Pros. Blaisdell takes the 3 from the corner, in and out. As Becca Nelson the rebound. McCormick carries back into the front court. Gets it for Becca Nelson, who finishes. Under 9 minutes to go in the game. Zephyrs down 7. Pros pulls it down, traveled though, and the turnover will give it to the Huskies. Beg your pardon, they called the travel on the Huskies. The inbound to Pierre. Pros will take the 3, no good, and Becca Nelson the rebound. Quick tic-tac-toe passing, Becca Nelson, and 1. So the quick passing frees up Nelson under the basket. She now has 21. And the foul is on Pierre, that's her 4th. Free throw no good for Nelson. Tapped back and able to be rebounded by the Zephyrs. Pro is quickly trying to get it underneath for Blaisdell. It's tipped out of bounds off Lisinski, so it'll stay with Mahtomedi. Zephyrs looking to make a push. Trailed by as many as 10 here in the second half. Inbound Dumermuth. Inside, and the foul. Delaney Dumermuth, and 1. Schumann called for the foul. Well, that will be her second. She'll check out. The 3-point play finished off by Dumermuth. He now has 8. Inbound McCormick as it's intercepted at the timeline for the Zephyrs. Inside Dumermuth, fouled by Nelson, and she'll go back to the line. Second foul on Nelson. 5th team foul, 6th team foul, I beg your pardon, against the Huskies. Timeout called by the Huskies with 7:54 remaining in the game. It's Dumermuth at the line for the Zephyrs. Zephyrs have been playing from behind most of this second half, trailed by as many as 10. Let's take a look at the highlights tonight for Grace Prose. That's 22 points so far in the game tonight. Prose has done it from down low as well as from range. Prose, the leading returning scorer for the Zephyrs from last year, so she was going to step into a big role for Mahtomedi this season. And if tonight is any indication, she should be off to a good season. There you see the steal, the free throw line jumper. That chaotic sequence from earlier in the second half. Throws the 3 a moment ago as we're back to live action. It's Dumermuth at the line to shoot a couple. Gets the first one. Zephyrs can get it back to a 4-point game. Second one, though, no good. It's out of bounds off of St. Anthony Village. So now the Zephyrs another chance to cut this deficit a little further. It's Blaisdell looking to inbound. And we'll get a foul called on Nelson, so she's quickly going to pick up another one. She's got 3. And that'll put the Zephyrs in the bonus. Well, the foul away from the ball. Dumermuth right back to the line for a 1-and-1, hits the first. Seven fouls now on the Huskies. Second one good. 3-point game. Long pass ahead for Schumann. Quickly back into the front court. If the layup is no good for Mags Lonar Excel. Pull-up jumper no good for Blaisdell. McCormick with now under 7.5 minutes left to go. Out of bounds, stays with the Huskies. Allen inbounds to Schumann. Schumann driving into the lane, off glass, good. Schumann hard off the glass, got it to go. Back to a 5-point game. Zephyrs work out of the corner. It's kicked out of bounds. They'll say it went off of Dumermuth. Oh, it goes over to the Huskies. Inbound to McCormick as McCormick races ahead, slows things down inside the arc. Nelson off glass from the baseline. .23 for Becca Nelson. And the Huskies back up by 7. Dumermuth is fouled on the hook shot underneath. She'll go back to the line. Well, that'll be the 4th foul on Nelson, who up until the second half really had a pretty clean game, but now she's racked up a bunch. The first free throw is good, and suddenly the Huskies have a pair of starters playing with 4. And we'll see how aggressive the Zephyrs want to be the next time they have the basketball in the offensive court. See if they want to go right at Nelson, who can't afford to pick up another one. McCormick ahead, had the ball knocked away. Zephyrs will come ahead with Blaisdell. 3 on the way, no good for Dumermuth, and out of bounds to the Huskies. .6:20 left to go. Lauren Peterson, the freshman, checking into the game for Mahtomedi. Allen trying to work it across the line, which she does. Allen to the rack, no good, too short. The rebound eventually corralled by the Zephyrs and carried ahead. Floystel had the rebound. On the baseline is Prose. Gets it back out for Peer. Peer on the drive, too short on the layup. She's knocked to the ground as Nelson outlets the pass ahead. Allen the layup the other way, that's no good. Nelson following up, I beg your pardon, I think that's Lasinski who's tied up. It's a jump ball, it'll favor the Huskies. Inbound to Saroin. Lasimski bounce pass inside. Saroin the layup and the foul. Saroin the big bucket. She has 12 off the bench. And that'll be the first foul on Isom. So Ryan will try to finish the three-point play. Rolls around and not able to get it to go. Zephyrs down 8, now 5.5 minutes to go. Through the lane as Prose couldn't get it to go. Back the other way, Allen has it go off her hand. She tries to recover. It's poked free, stays in bounds. Sets up Saroin for 3, no good on a high arcing shot. Was getting knocked down, driving into the lane was Dumermuth. No foul on the play, just out of bounds. Prose will inbound. To Blaisdell. Back for Prose. Prose trying to generate some space. Comes inside, is met by a handful of Huskies. Should mention now for the Huskies, Becca Nelson has checked out with those 4 fouls. We'll likely see her sit for, well, she looks about ready to come back in, and here she comes. Beg your pardon, McCormick back in the game as Nelson will remain on the bench. First free throw is good. Pros now with 23. Second one rattles around and good. We're going to get a foul called on Blaisdell defensively. And the Huskies now in the double bonus. McCormick will shoot a pair. First one no good. Every free throw now critical, under 5 minutes left, and the Huskies trying to protect this lead. Second one no good, but an offensive rebound. Schumann standing outside the perimeter, kicks it out toward the corner as Lomar couldn't keep it in. Blaisdell into the front court as the Zephyrs will take a timeout. 4:36 left. It's a 6-point lead for St. Anthony Village. As the Huskies have led pretty much the entire way, other than the early Zephyr rally after they were down 6. We'll take a look at the upcoming schedule for the St. Anthony Village Huskies. They'll have their home opener against Park Center on November 25th, a couple days before Thanksgiving. Then they'll have a week off. They'll have a couple of tough games at Benilde St. Margaret's, West Tonka. They're just West Tonka now, no longer Mound West Tonka. Fridley, Holy Family, De La Salle, Columbia Heights, Totino Grace, Kennedy, and Visitation to round out the first, not quite half of their schedule. Next foul for the Huskies will put the Zephyrs in the double bonus. Zephyrs look to inbound to get it in the corner. The three on the way, no good for Pros. His rebound couldn't quite be pulled down by Dumermuth, but he was able to save it for Pros. Blaisdell in the lane, lost it, and it's stolen by Schumann. Schumann quickly ahead for Nelson, who finishes. Excuse me, McCormick, I beg your pardon. Nelson continuing to ride the bench with those 4 fouls. To approach 4 minutes to go in the game. Pros on the drive, layup no good. Offensive rebound on the putback for Dumermuth. Zephyrs need a big defensive stop here. And a steal, they get just that. Pros. Dumermuth with the jumper from the baseline, no good. Offensive rebound. Pros from the free throw line, no good, as Allen has the rebound. And a foul on Pros. Well, Allen will go to the line to shoot 2, and now Pros will have 4. With 3:26 left, down likely by anywhere from 6 to 8 after these free throws. Can't afford to put Pros on the bench. First one no good. So Allen missing the first. Allen's second one doesn't go either, so it's a 6-point game. Blaisdell will come ahead into the front court. Pros, as we said, now playing with 4 fouls. Can't afford to put her on the bench at this point in the game. As she's knocked down from behind, no foul. The ball goes out of bounds over to St. Anthony Village. Now, incidental contact. .310 to go. Carried ahead into the front court by Allen. Allen on the far side with now under 3 minutes left. McCormick fighting her way, underhand layup, good. No, McCormick, a big bucket. Becca Nelson, we should mention, back in the game now with 4 fouls of her own and 23 points. Pros on the drive and the layup. 25 for Grace Pros. Nelson underneath on the layup. As Nelson now matches Pros with 25 of her own. It's an 8-point game as we approach 2 minutes left to go as the Zephyrs and Blaisdell come into the front court. Pros works it for Blaisdell again. As Pros lost it, it's a kicked ball. And it'll stay with the Zephyrs. But now under 2 minutes to go. As the Zephyrs are going to make a couple of substitutions. It's Delaney Doomermuth having a great night. 13 points. Blaisdell and Pros on the give and go. It's Pros, I beg your pardon. Pros, lob pass is knocked away as it's recovered by Blaisdell. Blaisdell feeding it underneath as getting the bucket is Peer. Is Peer back out there with 4 fouls. We approach a minute and a half left to go. The Zephyrs are going to have to start to think about fouling, but they have to make sure it's the right player taking the foul at this point. Some contact underneath, no call. They try to quickly get it ahead, but not able to keep it in bounds for Pros. With a minute 20, it's a 6-point lead for St. Anthony Village, and the Huskies will inbound. Pros and Peer both have 4. Now Nelson out there, she has 3. We're going to timeout taken by the Zephyrs. Of course, you reach a point where you just have to take the foul regardless of who it is, and I don't think the Zephyrs quite at that point yet. A couple of players who probably realized they couldn't afford to take that 5th foul yet. Let's take a look at our upcoming schedule here on SCC Sports. Boys hockey, Northern Edge against Tartan. Northern Edge, that's the relatively recent new co-op between St. Francis and North Branch, just a few years old. Big boys hockey game, Roseville and White Bear Lake. That's December 9th. And then girls basketball, North St. Paul against Tartan. That'll be December 12th. We head to a full winter of action here on SCC Sports, covering these East Metro schools. So we're here in Mahtomedi tonight for the girls basketball opener. St. Anthony Village looking for the upset on the road. Up by 6 with a minute 20 left. Just said the Zephyrs are going to have to start to think about fouls just to extend the game. Free throw shooting has been kind of tough for both teams tonight. Schumann trying to inbound. It's tapped and stolen by Dumermuth. Kicks it out to Pros. Good. Nearly stolen again. It's out of bounds. It'll stay with the Huskies. But it's a 4-point game as the Huskies, to hold on for dear life as the Zephyrs executed that sequence perfectly. They got the steal and the basket. Timeout taken with 1:10 left. And we're down to the wire here in Mahtomedi. Huskies are in the double bonus. Any more fouls on St. Anthony Village will put the Zephyrs in the double bonus. Huskies have led by as many as 10. They've also led by 9 here in the second half, but the Zephyrs not going away easily. Just a 4-point game and still a minute 10 left. Schumann will inbound in front of the Mahtomedi bench. Looking for somewhere to go with it. And it's a 5-second violation. So the Zephyrs get the turnover. Blaisdell will inbound. Able to get it in as they're back underneath for Dumermuth, who's got the bucket, and it's a 2-point game. The Zephyrs defense has been smothering here down the stretch. A 2-point game. And we'll get a foul called in front of the Husky bench. Down to 56.1 left. As Pierre fouls out. McCormick will be at the line to shoot 2. McCormick's first one, no good. Second one is good. It's a 3-point game. Blaisdell carries ahead, down to 50 seconds left. Zephyrs have been good from distance tonight. Pros backing up. Pros on the near side. Tries to get it for Blaisdell. Bobbled it. Dumermuth 3. No. Offensive rebound goes off the hands and out of bounds of Feustel. A tough break for the Zephyrs as they had the offensive rebound in hand and it just slipped away out of bounds. Schumann looking to inbound, long pass ahead as it'll come ahead into the front court for Saroin. Shot was no good, down under 30 seconds, another shot no good. Nelson fighting for the offensive rebound. The officials, no signal. It looks like it's going to be a jump ball, and it'll be Zephyr basketball with 25.3 left. Shopik will come back in for the Zephyrs as trying to get some of their better long-distance shooters on the court. Shot clock is off, 25.3 to go. Blaisdell. Foystel, Shopik, down to 15 seconds. It goes through the hands of Prose, and a foul will be called in front of the Zephyr bench. I believe it's going to go on Allen, and that'll send Prose to the line. So the Zephyrs down 3 will have 2 free throws. First one good, it makes it a 2-point game. Each team has 1 timeout left. Second one good. St. Anthony Village up by 1. 12.1 seconds left. They get the inbound to McCormick. McCormick, they got to get the foul off, as the ball was thrown away, but the foul was called, or other whistles came prior to the ball being thrown out of bounds, as the Huskies got the timeout granted with 6.8. It's hard to hear the whistles, but they did come before the ball was thrown. So that was St. Anthony Village's final timeout. What a game, down to the wire. The Zephyrs were down by 10 and then down by 9 here in the second half. Regardless of what happens on the sequence, should have a chance with a final shot. Inbound will come from the near sideline, as everybody in a line. The conga line breaks apart. Schumann looking for somewhere to go, gets it in for Nelson, who is fouled with 5.6. Well, maybe not the person that the Zephyrs wanted to put at the line, didn't really have a choice, but again, free throw shooting has not been automatic tonight regardless. Nelson's first free throw is good. Second one good, so that's a little bit of a floored up 3-point game. Clock runs as timeout called by the Zephyrs with 2.1 as Blaisdell came into the front court. As the Zephyrs will try to set up a shot to try to tie the game. Zephyrs are out of timeouts as well. What a finish here at Mahtomedi. We've talked about three-point shooting has been good, although not as many attempts in the second half as there were in the first from distance for Mahtomedi. Grace Prose with 28 for the Zephyrs. So the inbound will have to come from the Mahtomedi side of the court. Prose on the inbound. They're able to get it in as it slips through the hands of Shopik as she just throws it backwards over her head, and the shot is no good from outside half court. So the St. Anthony Village Huskies in a thriller pull an upset here at Mahtomedi High School, led by Becca Nelson and her 27 points tonight. They got 12 off the bench from Haley Saroin, and a team that the Huskies lost by 29 last time out when they played the Zephyrs. Get the win over Mahtomedi this time by a final score of 62-59. A great night for Grace Prose, who had 28. Delaney Doomermuth, a great night as well, as she had 14. Well, the Zephyrs fall in their home opener tonight. It's going to be a much different team than last year as they'll look to bounce back next time out. So the final score tonight, St. Anthony Village wins at 62-59. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from the second half. Throws that wild sequence, the jumper there. So a good rally from the Zephyrs as they trailed by 10 at one point in the second half. Just couldn't quite, though, overcome the double-digit deficit. Talk about the key departures for Mahtomedi. They lost all 3 of their leading scorers from last year. Not a bad St. Anthony Village team either. They won 16 games last year. Well, they lost their top 2 scorers as well, but I think they might be in good hands if Becca Nelson can keep up this pace all season long. Free throws, the Zephyrs actually not a bad night at the line. It was St. Anthony Village left quite a few points on the table, especially in the first half, but down the stretch, Huskies were able to hit some big free throws. Zephyrs end up shooting a little under 50% for 3 on the night, as the Huskies pick up the victory tonight here at Mahtomedi by a final score of 62-59. Oh, a tough one for the home Zephyrs tonight, as they drop it by 3, 62-59. I'm Patrick Lilly on behalf of our entire SEC Sports crew. Make sure to follow us on your favorite social media platforms. Find out our next broadcast. We went over those a little earlier, but of course we'll have updates for you of any changes as we roll into winter sports season. And unfortunately for the Zephyrs, a little bit of a tough loss tonight. Final score, St. Anthony Village 62, Mahtomedi 59. We'll catch you next time from an arena near you.